Hey everybody, Anime Abraham here, and welcome back to another video, where today I'll be talking about one of my favorite series growing up, Avatar: The Last Airbender. As an 8-year-old kid waiting for my Dragon Ball Kai episodes to show up, one show showed up on the scene on one fateful Friday afternoon while I was waiting for my daily episodes of Dragon Ball Kai. That show was Avatar: The Last Airbender. From the first episode onwards, I was immediately hooked on everything that made Avatar: The Last Airbender so great. The characters, the story, the settings, everything was great. And the bending battles, oh my good lord, the bending battles. The bending battles were some of the most epic spectacles I've seen when I was a kid. Now granted, I was a kid back in the day, so my standards of epicness have changed quite a bit. However though, I still love this series to death, even to this day. But there are some things I feel that need to be expanded upon or explored more. So today, I'll be discussing with you guys the top 5 concepts I want to see in Avatar: The Last Airbender or future Avatar: The Last Bender products or projects. Before I start this countdown off, I would just like to put in a massive spoiler warning for the very few people who have not seen Avatar: The Last Airbender or The Legend of Korra, as there will be heavy spoilers throughout the episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra throughout this entire countdown. So if you don't want to be spoiled on Avatar: The Last Airbender or The Legend of Korra, please go ahead and check out any of my other videos or just wait for the next video to come out. Anyway though guys, with that being said though, let's begin with this countdown. Number 5, more advanced versions of bending. We all know what the 4 elements are in Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra: water, earth, fire, and air. But I just wish that there was more advanced versions of waterbending, earthbending, firebending, and airbending to go around. For example, the advanced version of waterbending is bloodbending. Bloodbending is a technique that waterbenders use on a full moon or any other situation in which they bend the water in a person's blood so that way they can essentially control them and use them like a puppet. However though, what would happen if an advanced version of bloodbending existed? Well, let me give you this version of bloodbending. Mindbending. Mindbending would very similarly to bloodbending in that it would control a person and bend the water inside their blood. But instead of bending the water inside the blood of the whole body, instead it would bend the blood of a person's mind, thus effectively controlling them, but not like a puppet. Instead, it would effectively mind control the person, so that way people who use mind bending could become very powerful. Now granted, mind bending does have massive amounts of potential to make the user very OP for this sacrifice of using a forbidden waterbending technique. However though, what's the problem with using a forbidden power if you're not going to get crazy powerful from it, right? So that's why advanced versions of waterbending, earthbending, and firebending techniques along with airbending techniques are on this list at number 5. This is only at the start of the list though, as there are multiple advanced versions of the bending techniques already, such as lava bending, which is a combination of earth and fire bending that requires various amounts of skill to use. So that's why advanced versions of bending techniques take out number 5 on this list. Coming in the number 4 spot, we have advanced backstories of the characters in the spirit world. We do not know much about what the spirit world is. All that we know from it is that the spirit world is essentially the afterlife in the Avatar universe. but we do not know about the spirits that live in the spirit world aside from Yue and multiple characters that have died in Avatar The Last Airbender or in The Legend of Korra. I am dying to know more about these spirit world characters as well as their backstories. How did they die? How did they live? You see what I mean? We need to know this kind of information, which is why advanced backstories on spirit world characters as well as enhanced backstory on the spirit world takes out number 4 on this list. Number 3, more fusion bending techniques. We all know about lava bending from The Legend of Korra, which is a combination between earth bending and fire bending. Using this logic, it should be very much possible for masters of multiple elemental bendings to combine their bending techniques into one. One idea that I had for a fusion elemental bending when I was a kid was steam bending. Steam bending is a combination between water bending and fire bending, and using this, the user of steam bending is able to get out of a situation quickly, or get out of a battle scene quickly, or use a smoke screen to regroup if a battle goes sideways. Additionally, they can use the smoke screen to also hide their location, thus making it easier for them to camouflage themselves. Another idea that I had for an elemental use of steam bending is the use of attacks. The use of attacks during steam bending is simple. If a person touches a person's forehead for long enough while they're using steam bending, combined with the fact that they make the steam hot enough, they can essentially smoke the opponent. And when I mean smoke the opponent, I mean smoke them like ribs on a barbecue. I mean cook the opponent alive and essentially kill them in the battle in the process. Steam bending could obviously be used for assassins in the Avatar universe or ninjas in the Avatar universe if the Avatar universe ever decides to go there. Another idea that I had for elemental fusion bending techniques is a fusion between energy bending and fire bending. Energy bending is pretty simple. The ability to bend energy, and using this energy bending fused with fire bending could make a Kamehameha style move in which the user is able to make a complete and total firestorm. And using this, the user of this technique will be able to scorch entire opponents if they wanted to. Plus, if their firebending is strong enough, they could scorch entire worlds if they wanted to. Just imagine it. Energy bending fused with fire bending, creating Kamehamehas left and right. Just imagine the potential of fusion elemental bending techniques, which is why I want fusion elemental bending techniques to be a concept explored within the Avatar universe, and that's why it takes out number 3 on this list. Number 2, backstories on all of the avatars. The only avatar backstories that we know about in terms of the avatars are Avatar Kyoshi, Avatar Roku, Avatar Kuruk, Avatar Aang, Avatar Korra, and Avatar Genji, and that's all of the avatar backstories that we know about. And a series with all the avatars and revealing their backstories would be very, very interesting to see. Now that Avatar Studios has been founded, this leads to the potential of Avatar Studios making a series in which they reveal backstories for all of the avatars and how they became the avatar and mastered all 4 elements. This will provide some much needed lore and some much needed backstory to the Avatar universe besides the avatars that we already know about. We all know how they became the avatar, but what about all the other avatars? All the other avatars are a complete and total mystery besides the 6, including Yang Chen, who we just found out about not too long ago, 3 years ago. And because of this, I believe that a backstory series featuring all of the avatars could make some massive potential for Avatar Studios. Heck, this could be the biggest project that Avatar Studios has ever done. And it's even in the name, Avatar Studios. So, with that, a series with all of the backstories of all of the avatars would make for the perfect series opener of Avatar Studios, or the last series that Avatar Studios ever does, should they run out of ideas for new Avatar series. And that's why Backstories of all of the Avatars takes out number 2 on this list. Number 1, an evil avatar. Sticking with the theme of the Avatar in the Avatar state, as a kid I was constantly wondering if there could be an evil avatar that could possibly exist within the Avatar The Last Airbender franchise as a whole. And I am not alone in this scenario, as countless amounts of Avatar fans have made videos on whether or not an evil avatar could exist. And I believe that this potential concept has the best potential in the form of a series or in a comic. Maybe we can go back when the Avatar state was first being discovered and the first Avatar fought against an evil avatar, or a series where all the past avatars come together in order to take out an evil avatar from corrupting the Avatar state as a whole. As with the evil avatars, well, evil, it could corrupt the Avatar state as a whole, thus leaving this cycle corrupted in its entirety, and it's up to the past avatars to stop this evil avatar from causing any more damage to the Avatar state cycle. One way they could introduce this is in the form of a new series and or in a new comic book, as comic books and series are the best way to introduce new concepts within the Avatar The Last Airbender universe, as comics and series don't necessarily have the time constraints of a movie, as the average movie length is around an hour and 30 minutes to an hour and 45 minutes. And with that, the developers of this new movie, if they decide to introduce an evil avatar in the form of a movie, are subjected to heavy time constraints. But with a series and comic book, they don't really have those heavy time constraints at their backs and chaining them up in order to fully expand the concept. They could use a series, as a series or comic book series is not subjected to these heavy time constraints. But anyway though, back to the evil avatar. One idea that I have for the evil avatar is the fact that he forces the strongest members of each master of the airbending, waterbending, earthbending, and firebending techniques to teach him by means of torturing these masters, and thus forcing them to teach him the airbending, waterbending, and firebending techniques that he wants to learn, thus reinforcing the fact that he is an evil avatar, and thus reinforcing the fact that he can be, or could be, or is the Avatar. Good lord, this concept has so much potential to shake up and add to the lore of the Avatar series, or the Avatar franchise, I guess you could say, as a whole. And because of this, it takes out the number 1 spot in the top 5 concepts that I want to see within the Avatar The Last Airbender franchise. Anyway though guys, with that being said, that's gonna about do it for today's video. See you guys later, goodbye, and remember the Enemy Abraham Army loves you, and will always love you. If you guys want to see more Avatar content in the future, or more content where I just branch out and talk about Avatar The Last Airbender, or any other anime in general, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And with that being said though guys, peace out, and I'll catch you down the road, and see you guys later on potentially the next Avatar The Last Airbender video.